Hello everyone, welcome to Click Education's accounting class. Today we are going to study chapter 3. This is class number 2 and today's topic is single entry system. So let's get started. Okay, today's contents are: we will study what is single entry system, we will know the features of single entry system, then we will learn how to calculate or determine capital under a single entry system. There are two types of capital you need to know, and remember that under single entry system any business has two types of capital, that is that are called opening and closing capital. Closing capital. So in a business that follows a single entry system, they keep two types of capital, opening and closing capital. So we will learn how to determine these capitals. Okay, then we will move on to determining profit and or loss under single entry system. We will learn a formula to determine profit or loss of any business. Okay, finally we will practice a complete creative question. There we will learn how to solve mathematical problems or accounting mathematical problems under single entry system. Okay, all right. So single entry system is a method by which in some transactions only one party double in others while none is recorded in the remaining ones. So single entry system is a method where we record only one party for some transactions and both parties for other transactions, and neither parties for the remaining transactions. So this is a method which is totally ancient or absolute, which is totally ancient method or procedure. So it has some unique features that distinguish it from double entry system. So let's learn the unique features of single entry system. These are the features of single entry system. Number one, in this method both sides of a transaction or one party are recorded, and sometimes neither side of a transaction is recorded. So it learned earlier. We learned it earlier, so nothing new in number one, but other two are new to us. That is, it is a non-scientific and erroneous method. Since the single entry system does not follow any logical or scientific rules, so it is a non-scientific and erroneous method because it records different transactions in different style. Let's see the number three, and mainly small business with limited number of transactions use this method. Since this is an ancient or very traditional practice method of keeping accounting records, so business with small size with limited number of transactions use this method for their account recording process. So let's move on to the next topic, determining capital under single entry system, opening and closing capital. We have already learned that under a single entry system there are two types of capital. They are opening and closing capital. So for the calculation of opening capital, the formula is opening capital equals to total opening assets minus total opening liabilities. Actually the formula is subtract liabilities from the assets. Basic formula is subtract liabilities or sum of liabilities from the sum of assets. So when we sum all the opening assets and subtract the sum of opening liabilities, we will get opening capital. Like opening capital, the closing capital formula is just subtracting liabilities from total assets. So closing capital equals to total closing assets minus total closing liabilities. So you can see in the formula that that is similar to the opening capital. Just you need to consider this time closing assets and liabilities. Okay, so let's take an example and practice it. Okay, so here's the exercise determining capital, and there's the question: on January 1, 2019, the total assets of Mr. Milton's apparel business was taka 2,20,000 and total liabilities was taka 1,35,000. This is asset. Mistakenly didn't type here. This is the typo. So please consider the 2,20,000 is an asset, opening asset, 2,20,000, and 2,20,000 asset, and liabilities was taka 1,35,000. Okay, this is opening assets and opening liabilities. We will use them to determine opening capital. Then see rest of the information. At the end of the year, his total assets at the end of the year means closing. At the end of the year means closing. So closing, for closing capital, we are given total assets and liabilities were taka 3,45,000 and 2,15,000. So we will use this information to determine closing capital. Mr. Milton keeps his accounts under singularity system, and we are asked to determine the capital, that is that are opening and closing capital of the business. So let's solve the problem. Here is the answer, and we know we learned earlier how to calculate opening capital, and the formula is total opening assets minus total opening liabilities. We know how much our total opening assets and total opening liabilities are, so put in the values into the formula and get the opening capital. So putting the or plugging in the formula, we get opening capital as taka 85,000. So let's say the closing capital. This is the formula for closing capital, and closing capital is 3,45,000 minus 2,15,000 and equals to taka 1,30,000. So we got our opening capital taka 85,000 and closing capital taka 1,30,000. So this is the procedure to how to calculate opening and closing capital. Okay. So determining profit and loss with exercise. Now we will learn a formula, very important formula. You need to remember it very carefully. Otherwise, we will not. You will not able to solve problems on singularity system. So here is the formula: profit or loss equals to closing capital plus drawings. We need to sum them up and subtract from this. We need to subtract the sum of opening capital and additional capital. So you need to remember this formula. One thing I would like to say, that you need to remember this very carefully, that additional capital must be added to opening capital. Additional capital must be added to opening capital, and drawings must be added to closing capital. You must have to remember this, otherwise you will do a mistake in the exam. I repeat, additional capital must be added to opening capital, and drawings must be added to closing capital. So let's take how to solve a problem using this formula. This is the additional question or information in connection to the previous example. So Mr. Milton withdrew taka 12,000 throughout the year and invested additional capital of taka 25,000 due to emergency requirement of the business. So we need to recall the previous information from the previous math, and they are from previous math information. Opening capital, we need opening capital and balance of opening capital and closing capital. We can see here in the formula we have to put the value of opening capital and closing capital. So I attached the formula here so that we can use them from this information. Okay, so here is my formula, and we need to plug these values into the formula. So let's see. Closing capital, we can see here closing capital is taka 1,30,000. So I put here 1,30,000, and drawings we can see here taka 12,000 withdrew throughout the year. And opening capital, we can see is the opening capital, and additional capital is taka 25,000, and here is the additional capital. So I plugged in these values into the formula, and now I need to calculate them. So let's see. 1,30,000 plus 12,000, 1,42,000, and 85,000 and 25,000. Summing them up, I found 1,10,000. So final result 30,000, and this is profit. How do you know that this is profit? Because when the final result is positive, we need to consider it as profit. When the final result or desired result is positive, this is plus 32,000. That means the beginning part of the formula is larger than the ending part or other part of the formula. So the result is positive 32,000. So we have come to know that this is profit. If the balance is minus 32,000, then we need to consider it as loss. So when the balance is positive, we will consider it as profit. When the balance is negative, we will say that it is loss for the business. So I think you have understand the problem and how to solve them. So let's move on to the next topic. Creative problem. This is practice problem, and here's the math. Complete creative question. We will solve it now, and let's first read the requirement first. And A, determine the amount of opening capital of Riyadh Enterprise. B, determine the amount of closing capital of Riyadh Enterprise. And the final question is determine the amount of profit or loss of Riyadh Enterprise in 2017. So we will solve this math. So here we will solve the problem. You have already seen this in the previous slide or frame of the video. So the requirements are determining opening capital, determining closing capital, and determining the amount of profit or loss for the Riyadh Enterprise. Okay, to solve A, B, and C, I have already prepared my formula. I already prepared them so that you feel you do not feel any boredom while viewing this video. So I put on all the formulas here and prepared my table to solve this problem. Okay, so opening capital, we know for opening capital we need to subtract the total opening liabilities from the total opening assets. So we need to find out what was the opening assets and opening liabilities for the business of Riyadh Enterprise. So on January 1, this is the line that we need to consider to find out total assets and liabilities. So total assets of the business was taka 5,50,000 and liabilities taka 1,70,000. So we can write here 5,50,000 and we can write here 1,70,000. So opening total assets taka 5,50,000 and opening total liabilities 1,70,000. So we can write here, where is my calculator? Here. So 5,50,000 minus 1,70,000. So 3,80,000. So I got my opening capital 3,80,000. So this is my opening capital for the business Riyadh Enterprise. Let's move on to the next question. Answer to the question number B. We need to calculate closing capital. Here one thing you have to look very carefully, that this time we are not given the total assets and total liabilities. We are just given some accounts, and we need to calculate how much closing assets and closing liabilities the business had during the time period of 31st December 2017. So I have prepared two tables to calculate total closing assets and total closing liabilities. So let's calculate them. Okay, so closing assets, we are given that cash taka 1,85,000, furniture taka 1,80,000. This is a typo again. Debtors taka 1,30,000 and stock of another typo. Stock of goods taka 90,000. Bank loan, they are liabilities, so we are not considering them right now. Okay, so right here cash and so write cash and taka 1,85,000. Okay, and then write furniture, write taka 1,80,000. Then write debtors taka 1,30,000. Okay, and stock of goods taka 90,000. Okay, so sum them. So sum total closing assets 5,85,000. Okay, then let's see closing liabilities. Here the closing liabilities, bank loan and the creditors taka 55,000. So right here bank loan taka 60,000 and creditors taka 55,000. So the balance is 1,15,000. So the balance is 1,15,000. So send them left. So here is my total closing assets, 5,85,000, and the total closing liabilities 1,15,000. Now we need to plug these values into this formula. So let's do it. So our closing total assets is 5,85,000. So 5,85,000, and closing total liabilities is 1,15,000. 1,15,000. Okay. Let's put minus sign here. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Now subtract this. Where is my calculator? And here is this is okay. So 5,85,000 minus 1,15,000. Okay, 4,70,000. So right here 4,70,000. Okay, we can put comma here. So okay, so 4,70,000 taka is my closing capital. Okay, so we need to solve requirement C now. So here is the formula you learned earlier in from my video. So closing capital drawings, we need to sum them up, and we will subtract the sum of opening capital and additional capital. So put the value here. Closing capital, we know 4,70,000. So right here 4,70,000. Okay, plus drawings, we need to put bracket, plus drawings we need to check how much, and we got in that year we withdrew taka 40,000 from the business. So drawings is taka 40,000. So right here taka 40,000 and bracket close. So done. Then write minus sign here and put the others value. Opening capital is taka, check, let me check, 3,80,000. Okay, so 3,80,000 plus additional capital here he newly invested, that means additional capital invested taka 50,000. Okay, so 50,000. So put 50,000 here, 50,000 here. Okay, all right. Then here's the value taka 4,70,000. So 4,70,000, 30,000 plus 40,000 equals 5,10,000. So right here 5,10,000. Okay, 5,10,000 minus, and that is 3,80,000 plus 50,000. Okay, 4,30,000. So right here 4,30,000. Okay, so subtract these values from 5,10,000. So 5,10,000, 5,10,000 minus 4,30,000. Okay, 80,000. So 80,000 is my profit. How can I understand that this is my profit? Because the balance is positive. beginning portion of the formula is larger than the ending portion of the formula. So we can say this is my profit. So taka 80,000 profit. Done. So this is the total solve of this creative question, and you have learned how to solve single entry system mathematical problems in accounting. This is the very easy math, and most of the time it is asked in the question to solve such type of mathematical problem. So you should learn them very carefully. And okay, so this is all from today's lecture. We will meet in the next video. Okay, goodbye.